Good morning, Neighborhood Church. Happy Sunday. We're so glad that you are here today. You're not Jess. And
Nope.
It's a wonderful thing whenever we see new faces. So who are you?
Yep.
How does everybody know you?
Yeah, so good morning, first of all, to the Neighborhood Church. I'm Ben Bowers, Global Missions Leader here at TNC, and really excited to be invited to Morning Mess here today. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Mercedes.
I'm so glad that you're here. And Deacon Jess, that is, I know it's the accurate vernacular. It's what you should say, but I'm so used to it's Jess. Feel like that's an episode of New Girl maybe, but she is out of town this week doing some really incredible stuff, and so we're going to be excited to see her back. Ben, you were part of the group that just went to Mexico this past week, right?
Right, absolutely.
Can you tell me just like a little bit about how did it go? What did you guys do? What did you learn? Because this was an exploratory mission.
Right.
And I know last week Jess was explaining a lot about what it means to be an exploratory mission versus just a standard mission trip. So I'd love to hear your insight.
Yeah, so we're kicking off, first of all, a really exciting season of mission this year. Global Mission this year is taking groups to Uganda as well as Guatemala. But at the beginning of the summer, you know, we got an opportunity to really scout a new trip, a new opportunity for Global Mission. And we, years back, had a developed strategy to really go out and explore mission on sort of a 3-year cadence. So every 3 years, we're looking at what missions we've brought people on, but we're also out there every 3 years looking at new mission opportunities. And so this week we had an opportunity to scout Casas por Cristo.
Okay.
And so Joe, Don Lyles, Matthew Taylor, and myself drove down. We drove 12 hours over the course of 2 days. We camped out on the way, and we crossed the border in Del Rio into Acuna, Mexico. And in Acuna, we had the opportunity to meet a number of different churches that were all also scouting Casas por Cristo as a global mission opportunity for their churches as well.
Okay.
Churches from many different denominations, from many different states around the United States. And we also met kind of the scouting leads for Casas por Cristo. So we met that group, and we met a number of key leaders for the Casas organization, and we crossed the border into Acuna, and we had that first night to kind of get our bearings and get to know a little bit about the work we were going to go do. And then the next day, we all woke up around 5:30 in the morning. We had our breakfast at 6:30, and we had our wheels underneath us, and we were heading to the job site. And we arrived at the job site around 7:15, and that's when honestly reality struck, and we realized we're not just there scouting Casas por Cristo this week and taking a look at their organization, but we have an opportunity to build a home for a family and really impact lives for the community that we were serving down there this last week. And so we met Joanna and her daughter, and we heard a really gut-wrenching, heartfelt story on kind of how they were approved for a house build as part of the Casas ministry down there. And we built her house in 3 days.
Wow.
From ground all the way to raised house with drywall, a dry roof, electricity, multiple rooms. And they stepped in and turned that key just a couple of days ago, and it was just an unbelievable sight to see. We had members of the community come out. We had her family come out. Everyone prayed over the house and prayed over one another, and it was just an awesome, awesome experience.
That's so incredible. And you're going to talk a little bit about that in service in a little more detail. Yeah. So I know that part of Joe's message, he's going to really be highlighting the trip. I know during fellowship time, there's a great video that we're going to see about just the launch into this trip and just all of the impact that it had. So I'm blown away at how much you accomplished in a week, and along with that, just the lives that get impacted and changed, and not just the people that live in the household or that will be living in the household, but like everyone involved in that. And I find it very cool. I didn't realize that it wasn't just our church going, and that there were other representatives, it's still early in the morning, that are covering all of those things. And so I really appreciate you filling everybody in this morning, and I hope that you guys continue to stick around during service as we hear more detail from both Joe, Ben, and I'm sure that the others will be up as well. But you know, at this point, we're going to be covering a lot of cool things going on in the life of the church here in a bit, but I would invite you, we're going to be kicking into worship here in about 10 seconds, so feel free to grab some coffee, grab your loved ones, snuggle up together on the couch, enjoy that time together.